Hi, my name is Liz, and I am with 9 Health Fair, and this is our weekly show, Health Happens. And all week this week, we normally do the show Tuesdays at 11, but this week we're doing a week long, and we're talking about, testimonials. We're talking with people who have been to 9 Health Fair, and they have a story to share because they learned something about their health while they were there. And so today, we have Lindsey Bustamante. And Lindsey has a very interesting story. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
She has a very interesting story. Now, when you first went to 9 Health Fair, you went because you were trying to get your dad to go, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So I had been my sisters and I, a little concerned about my dad's health, and had been trying to figure out the simplest way to get some tests done for him. And he's uninsured at the moment, and so he actually spoke to a friend of his that's a doctor, and he said, yeah, if you go with your daughters, do what they're telling you to do. You get those tests done, and that'll totally kickstart everything you need to do with me. So I knew he'd probably be a little hesitant just sending him there, or if he'd even go.
Right.
So I went with him and took him and participated with him. I did just the blood chemistry screening. Mm-hmm. He had pretty much every blood screening that we could get done, and very simple. The line wasn't very long.
That's good.
And then I had researched some of, because there's a few different, rooms or whatnot in the area, like different screenings in different towns. And so there was a few rooms that we wanted to go to at the Longmont location. And so we went there, and after we got our blood screenings done, we walked around a little bit. We did want to do the skin room, or my sisters and I wanted him to go to the skin screening room, and so I knew I would be participating with him. We got to the room. There was about a 15-minute wait, but they said we could write our names down, walk around, and come back. So we did that, and kind of on a whim, you had to write down your name and what you wanted them to look at, and I was really like, him. But I had to think of something, so quickly I thought of a mole that I'd noticed getting a little larger on the back of my leg. So that's what I wrote down. He wrote his name down after me, and we walked around for a few minutes, came back, and we actually got called back to the rooms was just little screened in, yeah, at the same time. And so I walked in, and the dermatologist was like, okay, so what do you want me to look at today? And I was like, being the cool girl, oh, I'm really just here for him, but I do have a mole on the back of my leg. I'll show it to you. And she's like, okay, well, I can talk quietly if you'd like me to, so you can hear through this going on. Yeah. Okay. And I lifted up my pant leg, and she says, you're going to need to get that biopsied. So that, I was not so cool after that. But just so glad I went and participated. I would have never had that looked at had I not gone there.
Right. No, in a way, it's like great that, you wanted to get your father there, and that really ended up helping you.
It helped us both. He got so much out of it, and he, we got our results in about a week and a half. He took all his screenings, and they took notes at each of the different rooms too. So he took all of that to his doctor, and he actually has a pretty clean bill of health. So we were happy about that.
Well, I bet there's good peace of mind for him to just know that, to know that, it's all good.
Yeah, it was a great start for him, and a good eye opener for me.
Right. So I take it you guys will keep coming back.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, that's great. And we'd love to hear your stories. Feel free to share. I've got my phone here. If you have questions that you want to ask, I can see them here on my phone, and we'll try to answer them. But also feel free to share your stories, because, you never know who your story is going to inspire. And I really hope, that the story of Lindsey and her father can help inspire others. And, for those of you who maybe are just joining us right now, Lindsey wanted to get her father to a 9 Health Fair. And so she kind of came along with him, and he didn't really want to, go, which I think a lot of people have that. They don't, they don't really make their health a priority. And, not even just, and I know a lot of times we stereotype that men are really bad about that, but, I think a lot of us, we kind of put our family's health first, and we kind of put ours on the back end. You're a mother, you have 2 kids. Do you ever feel like, you're kind of putting yourself on the back end because you need to put them first? And
Yeah.
how do you deal with that?
Absolutely. Well, I think, you just, sometimes you feel selfish, but you have to remember that you're just as important as them. I mean, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to be capable of taking care of your children? So I think that goes both ways for me. I want my dad to be around, and I want to be around for my children. So it was important for us to go, and it's important for us to keep it up and keep going.
Yeah, that's so great. So, when you showed up, and again, for those of you who are just joining us, your goal was simply to have your father, have him get checked out, and then you found out something about yourself, that you had skin cancer on a mole on the back of your leg. Now that you've had this experience, how have your health habits changed?
Well, that was definitely an eye-opener for me. I think even when I got the biopsy, my dermatologist wasn't super sure much was going to come out of it. And so when he called and he said that I had melanoma in situ is what it was called. So I literally found it so early that it'd be considered stage 0 of melanoma.
Great.
So I did still have to go, get more skin removed, for lack of a better description. And it's just opened my eyes. I'm not one to really just bask in the sun. I've always kind of covered my face, wore a lot of sunscreen, but it's definitely changed putting sunscreen on my legs every time I'm out, even just in shorts, not just at the pool. And on that note, even on my boys. I mean, sometimes you just don't think about your legs.
Right.
Like, okay, my chest, my shoulders, I don't want to burn my face, but when you need sunscreen everywhere, and that I think I would sometimes use the vitamin D excuse. Food's a good source for vitamin D. You don't need to go out to the sun. So it's just definitely changed my outlook on that. And at times it's felt a little hard, like thinking, oh my gosh, am I not supposed to go have fun in the sun anymore? And that's not the case, but just be aware of it. Buy a good sunscreen. Take care of your skin. Take care of yourself.
Right, and you just recently came back from a vacation, right?
I did.
You were in a very tropical, sunny place, and
that required a lot of sunscreen.
Did you find your vacation habits then changed too, as well?
I didn't feel like it put a damper on my vacation at all, but I just was so much more aware. Every time we got out of the water, we put more on, and. It's hard to make a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old want to take a break from the water, but they get it too, and they'll get out, they'll dry off, we'll lather them up, and they know they have to wait a few minutes. Mexico was easy because they could have a smoothie while they let it dry. But
yeah. They're very young, do they understand about skin cancer and what you went through, or is that something maybe you'll have to wait till they're a little older?
Yeah, they don't totally understand. Honestly, when I got the phone call, they were playing in one of their rooms with my husband, and you tear up, melanoma is a big word. And so I came in a little teared up, and they were concerned why I was crying, but they were okay. And then the recovery it was really just one decent day of being very painful, and then the rest was okay, but they've been pretty sweet. They still, I'm giving you this kiss because you had a stitch.
Aww.
But they don't really know why. This just more that mommy had an owie. But I'll definitely keep them aware of it, just because they're fair-skinned as well, so it's going to be something they're going to have to be aware of for their entire life.
Well, we really appreciate you sharing your story.
Yeah.
And again, our goal this week is just to share testimonials of people who have attended Nine Health Fair and they were able to learn something about their health, which is also the whole idea of our show, Health Happens. You know, health is happening all the time, all around you. And, you know, sometimes we're not even aware of it. You know, whether, you know, sometimes you're just sitting at your desk at work and, you know, your health is still happening, even while you're sleeping, right? Our health is constantly happening. And so we just want to bring awareness, you know, to that, our consistency of our health, and that, you know, it's just something's always happening. And for you, Lindsay, what would you say is the biggest reason for you to want to own your health?
Well, I think, oh gosh, the biggest reason is just, I just feel like when you have a healthy life, there's just so many more opportunities for joy and happiness. I mean, when you feel good about yourself, and that's not even necessarily looking
Right.
fabulous, but knowing in here and throughout your body that you're healthy is just a good feeling, and it eases your mind and eliminates a lot of stress.
Right. Well, that's good. So yeah, we have our fall season just around the corner. I believe the first fair starts on September 23rd. But you can go to our website right now. We have 15 fairs across the state, 9healthfair.org, and you can go and you can search by zip code or, you know, whatever, and find the fair closest to you. You can search by screenings. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, as Lindsay pointed out, you know, not all the fairs offer the same screenings. So definitely, if there's something in particular that you want to take advantage of, make sure you search by screening. So, but otherwise, you know, we hope to see you at a health fair this fall. Thank you.